This is the part about
nothing. Welcome to the part about nothing. I'm your co-host Nick Flair, alongside
the Reggolution.
And tonight, we got a special guest with us tonight. We got Mr. Chaz Ortiz. What's good,
Woo!
Chaz? Let's give him a clap. Let's give him a little.
Thanks for having me on the show.
For sure.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Thank you for being here, Chaz. This is part, and you know what? This is this is our Pandemonium Mondays. Okay, so we do this live every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But this is a very special one, Chaz. The reason why is because we're facilitating an initiative called YouTube Unite, and it's all about up and coming YouTube sensations just like yourself, because we've seen your videos, seen your content, and we want to use this as the platform to bring everybody together, to grow your following, talk about the projects, initiatives that you are working on. All right, so you are the first one, the chosen one.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Not to put a whole lot of pressure on you, but
no pressure. Just bring everybody in. Just don't have like 1,000 people in it. We fail.
Yeah. Right.
All right, so we're just gonna
big
get
shout out to Blah Blah though. Big shout out to Blah Blah.
Oh, Blah Blah's already in the building, eh?
She's already in the building.
She's already in the building. Shout out to Blah Blah, yo. The Blah Blah Blah. Shout out to Blah Blah, man. Already in the building. All right. What was I gonna say again? So we're just gonna get into how we met Chaz, because that's important. Because this whole initiative, YouTube Unite, is really about bringing YouTubers together. You know, like it's funny because when we were doing our mic check, and we basically met Chaz for the first time, we just couldn't stop laughing for about 2 minutes because it's just like. As soon as we came on the camera, it was like, oh, it's real life, it's real people, and we just started laughing for about 2 minutes. So the way that we met Chaz was this: we were new YouTubers in January. We started our channel on January the 16th, and we were just like kind of navigating through the YouTube universe, and we were on a video, and it was I was telling Chaz, I can't even remember the name of the video, what the video was about, but he left a comment on the video, and the comment was like a powerful comment, and I'm just like, yo, man, this guy's not playing. Whoever this guy is, you know what I'm saying? He's not like the typical YouTube comment that says some wild stuff and it doesn't make any sense. This guy was not playing. So I went and I clicked on his name, and then I went to his channel, and then I just like the first video I looked at, Chaz, was talking about how you left your job and how you were pursuing your entrepreneurship ventures. And the first thing I did is I flipped it to Reg on WhatsApp. I was just like, yo, Reg, man, YouTube got some fire, man. Look at this guy. And you were just starting too. I think you only had like 10 or 20 subscribers. You got over 500 subscribers now. You were just starting like the way we were just starting. And we saw what you were doing, and we were like, man, like, yo, we're going to holler at this guy, because if you're on the come up, we want to be on the come up with you for sure. And if anybody is in the comments right now that is somebody on the come up, sometimes it's about just what kind of messages you leave in the comments box, what kind of person you're showing yourself to be, that can generate or start these kind of relationships.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and just kind of add on to what Nick was saying, just Chaz, your energy, your inspiration, your motivational thoughts, your feelings that you share with your audience is amazing, because you're able just to connect instantly and draw people in. And just like your delivery, like just even the smile, like look, man, you already inspired me. Like I'm growing my Chaz beard. It's coming along.
Your mustache.
We're practicing our social distance right now. If I didn't have social distance, I would have had my makeup person put on like more.
Get the Chaz joint going, man.
Man, you might be starting a movement, man.
Think so?
Yeah, because I know, we're gonna get more into like your merchandising, your books, and everything like that. But I have one suggestion for you in terms of merchandising. Just get the beard sheen that you got going on. Add that to the product line.
All right, I'm gonna write that down tonight. Write that down.
All right, Chaz, we're gonna get into. You got a lot of things going on. We're gonna get into everything you got going on, but we're gonna start with one of your most provocative hooks, and you titled your book very provocatively, and it's called The Book That Changed Your Life. You want to tell us about that?
The book that changed your life. All right, so I'll start from the beginning. I always always wrote as a kid. So even as a kid, I wrote maybe like 4th, 5th grade. I used to write, take my books to school, sell them, come home with money. But then I got to a point where like the people I was around, they were looking at me like I was crazy. And I didn't want to look like the nerd. So everybody was like, man, you acting like a nerd. You acting like a white boy. And me being young and where I was from, I didn't want to be looked at like that. So I stopped writing completely. And then I went through a lot of things. But as I went through like my last addiction with pills, as like I lost everything. And then once that happened, the book came through. After I lost everything, I went completely broke. Like I lost my friends, I lost everything. And then something happened in my spirit where it was like, I felt like that needed to happen. Something had to come out of me. And I felt like the old person died. And then in that time, I used to just write every day. And I would write like what I was feeling and like things that I thought about. And just, like weird things I never thought about before, they were all like coming to my mind. And then I was just like every night I would pray and I would just ask like, man, what's the name of the book? Like how many pages do I put in the book? Like I didn't know anything because I was just writing. Like, I had way more than 33 pages when I wrote it. But then like one night I had like a vision. I had a dream actually, and when I woke up, I remember everything that happened. It gave me the cover for the book. I had the number of pages. It was like, you got to do 33 pages. And at that time, I'm like, what's 33? Because my favorite number is not 33, right? So I'm like, what is
Big
33?
shout out to Scottie Pippen, by the way.
Yeah, man. Right? Last day, hopefully Scottie got on his feet. Man.
So yeah, I was like, what's 33? So then I find out that 33 is my life path number. So I'm like, damn, that's wild how that all connected. So the book came out, and that's how the book came about, man. That's exactly how the book came about. So I made it short though, because I know that people hate to read nowadays, especially nowadays, like the attention span is so short with everything that's going on. We want everything to happen so fast. So, and I always ask people like, did you read this book? You should read this. You should read this. And they're like, man, it's too long. Like, I don't want to read nothing that long. So I'm like, I gotta make my book short, but it's gotta get straight to the point so that people are like, they're engaged and they're thinking about what's happening next. So I don't bore the reader. So that was the biggest thing with the book. Book that changed your life, man. Lives up to the name.
So you mentioned quickly. You mentioned life path. So 33 representing your life path. Can you kind of explain to the audience like what does that mean actually?
A life path number. So
yeah,
I encourage everybody to find out the life path number. You add up your birth date and your year, and you'll get your number. Like 11 is a master number, 22 is a master number, and 33 is a master number. So like those, like. It's kind of like I don't want to say like you're chosen, but you're kind of like chosen for a specific thing that you have to do while you're here. And like so basically a life path number tells you your path on while you're here on this earth. And you'll see like your strengths and weaknesses, and you'll understand like, oh, this is why I do this is why I do that. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Really?
I never knew anything about it until this year. It's wild
okay, so
how I bumped with information.
So the book's got 33 pages and it's 33 different passages, right?
Correct.
You want to walk us through what's like how that works, like in terms of like in terms of how it flows, in terms of how the in terms of like if I'm a reader and I want to buy this book right now, what can I expect to get out of the book that changed your life?
All right, so 33 passages and they're all totally different.
Okay.
So what it does is there's like different scenarios, different experiences, different things we go through life. So I have one passage like it talks about energy, how what we put in is what we get back, and basically focus the whole passage on energy. So then I have one that goes it starts from birth, like how do we become who we are, like who are we basically, and it's like everything we learn from our parents, from like when we're born up until age 7. We're like downloading all this information because if we weren't like around these people, we wouldn't know like what to do. So basically, like the first passage is saying like who are we, explaining like who am I. Then I have a passage called Lost, where it's like when I used to be in a room full of people, I would still feel alone. I wouldn't feel like I know my place in this world. It's like, dang, what am I supposed to do here? Like, what is my purpose in life? So every single passage will hit like a different experience in your life and just make you think about something totally different that you never actually thought about. It's very thought-provoking and self-reflecting.
So it's like 33 collections of your thought process at that particular moment.
Absolutely. All different ones. So if I go through real quick, I'll say like, all right, so I got mission. So that mission is about finding your purpose in life, finding your mission. What are you brought here for?
Mm-hmm.
Then there's one called inner voice, where it's like we all have that voice in our heads talking to us. It's like narrating our whole situation, like telling us, don't do that, do this, don't do that. It's like, who is that voice? Like, what is that? You know what I'm saying? So it's talking about the voice. Then I got one called the judge. The judge is like, it's us as people. Why do we always judge others? And that's a big thing. People like, we don't want to be judged, but yet we'll judge someone else for doing the same things that we do. So there's one called judge. And then I got one called silence, where it's like, how often do you sit in silence and just like really sit with yourself? No TV, no distractions, and really just get to know yourself. Like sit there and meditate and just think about, like, listen to your thoughts and what are you thinking, things like that. I got one called emotion. Emotion is like, as kids, we're always taught like, don't cry, don't feel, especially as a man, like you got to be strong, you got to be tough, you can't do this, you can't do that. And it's like, that's not good because then you bottle everything up. Like if you never cry, you never let anything out. Now it's just straight anger. So I got one talk about emotion. It's just a bunch of different things, man.
Yeah,
it's life changing.
It's something for everybody, for sure, man.
For everybody.
No, but I like how you categorized it, right? You talked about emotion, you talked about mission, birth, and all, and you're just kind of walking through people, like your journey, because everybody at the end of the day, everybody's journey is different, right?
Absolutely.
Everyone's experience is different. Now, but however, there are a lot of commonalities based on your stories that you share that would resonate with a bunch of people, right?
Right, absolutely.
Yeah. And based on your writing and the way that you're kind of explaining your book, it seems as like it's very intentional. It's very intentional in the means that it's going to touch at least one individual. And I think everyone uses that term, like if I at least touch and inspire that one individual, then I've kind of accomplished my mission.
Absolutely.
But I feel like you are different. You're not going to be one to touch one person, right?
A million.
Exactly. So that was going to be the next question. How many people did you want to touch in that way? Okay, that's good.
Because if he wanted to touch one person, he would have just made the whole book one page.
Yeah, it's true. But this is a very interactive channel, Chaz. Just to let you know. And the thing is, we appreciate everybody that's watching live right now. Shout out to blah blah. Shout out to PCX part. Shout out to Sharma. Shout out to the ladies. We got Couture Life out here. We got Shelly and Nay. So shout out to y'all watching. Question from PCX. Just kind of going back to the life path number. He just wanted to confirm, is that like associated with like numerology?
It is.
Would you say? Okay.
It's with numerology. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, cool.
Ask him. It's definitely numerology, but ask him to look up. Definitely look up life path numbers and look up how to get his, so that way he'll know going forward, and then he'll see how it connects. It's crazy how it connects to your life. You'll see exactly what's going on.
Okay.
Sure.
Cool.
All right.
So
go ahead.
Now, so after you wrote this book, like walk us through the process of, you talked about how you kind of got started, where the inspiration came from. Like, what was like the first thing you said to yourself after you dropped the pen or you stopped just typing? Like, what was the first thing that you said after you completed that book? How'd you feel?
First thing I said, I was like, "Dang, I really wrote a book." I was shocked. I was shocked because, like, I tried to write a book so many times before, like plenty of times, and I always stopped. I quit. I would always quit. And then after I finished this one, I just looked at it for like a full day maybe, and I was like, "Dang, I really just wrote a whole book." So I would call people like, "Yo, you gotta come read this," and I'd take it everywhere, just tell everybody about it. Even when I still had it like in a notebook, I'm just telling everybody.
And Chaz, don't front. Being an author is a dope pickup line, is it not? What you up to? What you up to these days, Chaz? I'm an author.
No, it is though. It is. And then people look at me like, "What? You're an author?" They're like, "What did you write about?"
What did you write about?
For real. Yeah, it's dope. But yeah.
Nah, man, listen. Chaz has been asking for girls' numbers like from time. He's asking for a different number now. but he was always accustomed to asking for people's numbers.
Numerology.
What's your life path?
Send me your number. I'm into numerology.
Yeah.
What's your life path?
Like
What's your life path? Give me your number. I'll let you know.
But you know what's interesting though, the silence part, being in silence with yourself. On top of that, when you're managing, you talked about judgment. Judgment can come into different forms. It can come in the form of external parties, which it could be your friends, your family, whoever. But then there's always that voice. I want you to talk about the voice inside, which I kind of call like the saboteur. Because a lot of times when you're on the brink of, breaking through, whether it be to your purpose or climbing to that next level, there's always that voice that says, "Oh man, no, Chaz, you can't do this. Look at this grammar. No, that's not good. No one's gonna read this."
Yep.
Right? Walk us through that process and how you just broke through.
Because for those who didn't see, we posted on the channel, or not on the channel, we posted on our Instagram one of Chaz's clips when he's saying, "Yo, just do it. Who cares what anybody thinks?" Mm-hmm. So, I mean, especially when writing a book, you're going to have to say that a lot, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So for me, I'm not gonna lie, with the book, it was easier for that purpose. For me, the harder thing to do was to speak. For me to actually make a YouTube channel and like post the videos that I post on my Instagram page, that was the hardest thing for me to do. Actually talk and get in front of the camera. Because my message, like a lot of people that actually know me and they see me, now they're like, who is this person? Because before I would not be doing this. I would not be like speaking positive messages. I would always say positive things, but I wouldn't be like this type of like energy, motivating people and like writing books about life and things like that. I wouldn't be doing that. So me pushing through, it was like, all right, am I going to let these people stop me from reaching my goals or reaching my dreams or like reaching my purpose? Because every night when I go to bed, or before I go to bed, I write down my goal. I want to help people and help people change their lives. So if I'm scared to put videos out, there ain't no way I'm going to be able to do that. So I can't let these people stop me from reaching my destiny. There's no way. Because they're going to judge me. They're going to hate me, love me. Whatever they're going to do, they're going to do it regardless. If I'm doing this or doing that. So why not do what I want to do what I love to do, and then go for it, and then just take whatever comes with that. And I'm willing to take whatever comes with it, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what I do for the people. So that's really how I got through it, man. Just staying focused on my purpose, knowing my why, knowing what the reason I want to do.
Knowing the why, that's awesome. Yep. No, I like that.
I
think once you know the why, you kind of, you set your path. It's kind of clear, and you write down what you want in life. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, you got to take, let's say massive action, right?
Absolutely.
There's one thing just to kind of just talk about it, but there's another thing to say, okay, well, I'm gonna go and actually do it, because not a lot of people do what you do. Like writing a book, I think it's a tremendous accomplishment. I would love to be in your shoes one day when I could actually say I've written a book. So kudos to you. That's awesome. Along with the beard, I like it. Again, we'll get there. I'm getting beard envy. Obviously, you could tell. But you mentioned you hit rock bottom. Absolutely. Right? Mm-hmm. Talk to us about that moment of hitting rock bottom, and when did you start to see things come a lot more clear in your vision?
All right, so I'll start, man. One day I woke up. Now I was doing this for a while, the God made for a while. I started last August, and I was making shirts for people, sending them out, and then it got to a point where I was like real bad on Percocets. I was a manager at a Sneaker Villa, and I feel like this was a test for me. Because I wasn't doing them for a couple months. Then when I got the job, as soon as I got the keys to my store, like people were coming in there and they were like, this one dude, like he dropped perks like right on the counter, right in front of me. And it kind of like triggered me. So from that day forward, I started popping them again, like every single day. Now getting it from this dude at the sneaker store. So every single day now I'm doing that. After a while, it took a toll on me. So now, like, I can feel myself changing. Like, I'm not doing the orders. I don't want to go to work. I'm leaving work early. So I lost my job first. And then my car went crazy. My car broke down. I couldn't really get it fixed. So I had no car. And then I started like not sending orders out. People ordering shirts from me. They're putting their custom orders in. I'm not doing them. I'm not sending shirts out. I'm just taking people money, going to buy drugs. I ain't got no ride. I'm Ubering to go get it. Like I'm doing all this crazy stuff. So then one day I got into an argument with my sister. She was just coming at me like, you ain't doing this, you gotta do that. And she was just like really just laying everything out. But everything was all true. And at this point, I'm like, man, I'm ready. I'm like, yo, you better chill out. I'm like, yo, you lucky you're not a dude, right? Like, man, I couldn't take it. She let me have it. So, but then I'm like, I just thought about it. I'm like, damn, everything she's saying is true. So then I got a job at Verizon, and this was like the final straw for me. I got a job at Verizon, and like I was always a manager, but I had to go back to being a sales rep. So I'm like, damn, I was taking steps back. So I went to be a sales rep. So I was working there for about 2 weeks, and then one day I went to the job, and in my mind somewhere, I don't know where my mind was at, high off Percocet, I'm like, I'm about to steal these 2 phones. And that's what I did. I stole 2 phones. Then I went to the mall. And at our mall down here, you can sell phones to this like this little shop. They got a little kiosk. So I sold the phones to the kiosk. They gave me $1,200 for the iPhones. I'm walking out of the mall. Someone else is walking in the mall. As he's walking in, I'm holding the door for him. He's like, yo, I got these 2 iPhones for sale. You want to buy them? I'm like, what kind? He showed me the iPhones. And then I end up buying them because I'm like, all right, they gonna buy them for me for $2,000. He had the maxes, so I'm like, all right, let me get that. So I'm thinking I'm about to make another $1,000. I gave him $1,000, so now I only got $200 left from what I just sold the phones for. I take the phones to the kiosk. The lady's like, I'm sorry, but these phones are not real. I'm like, what you mean? I just bought them for this dude. I'm like, what you mean?
Oh, you got the dummy phones?
Got the dummy phones.
Oh no!
It looked like real iPhones, but they weren't real.
No.
Lesson to everybody, man. You can't trust everybody that has a phone that you just never met before. They may seem like nice people, but they're really not. Not all the time.
So, I went back to the job, right? Crazy. I ended up going back to the job now. So I'm like, man, I ain't steal those 2 phones just to have $200. So I went back to the job and stole 2 more phones.
Damn.
Now, mind you, this is my day off. I wasn't even supposed to be there. So I go in there for about an hour, steal 2 phones, and went back to the lady. I'm like, man, I got 2 real ones now, and she gave me the money. I went to the casino and gambled it. I lost all that money.
Right. So what's the turning point, Chaz? What's the turning point, Chaz?
This is now this point right here. This is like October of last year. This was October of last year when that happened. After I lost that money, and maybe like 2 days later, they found out about the phones and they called me like, we're calling the cops. So now I'm like, damn, I'm about to get locked up for stealing phones. I'm like, yo, I'm too old for this. Like, I'm 31. I'm about to get locked up for stealing phones? Like, nah, I'm not about to be going backwards like this. So I ended up going to court for that, but they gave me a misdemeanor. They gave me like a big fine, like a $4,000 fine. So I'm like, dang, I just got saved. They saved me. So from that very day, I went home and I just locked myself in the basement for real for like maybe like 3 straight months, man. I ain't get on Instagram. I ain't get on Facebook. I ain't get on nothing. I was locked in. And I'm like, man, something, I got to change my life. Because at this point, I was like, man, either I'm going to kill myself or I'm going to change. Because I can't live like this no more. And I was just at that point, I'm like, man, what am I doing out here? I'm like, this can't be my life. So from that point forward, I made a big switch. I started reading. I started meditating. I started praying every day. And everything started changing. It's like every day I just kept getting better, just becoming a new person. And after a while, I didn't even think about like the old things I used to do. I feel like I don't even know what I feel like now. I've never been this person before. I feel good as a
you probably don't even recognize yourself right now, right?
Man, sometimes, especially now I'm working out, so when I look in the mirror, I definitely don't recognize myself. But now, when I watch back my YouTube channel, I'm like, dang, look at this. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. It's crazy, like who I'm becoming. It's amazing.
Yeah, no, you're getting a lot of fans. A lot of people are commenting right now, like blah blah, saying it was an attack to take you away from your God-given path. So glad that you rose above that. You know, PCX, big fan of yours too. Got another person here. The Writers Television wants to connect with you after the show too. Just likes your story. So you know, your story is really resonating with people. So shout out to everybody that's participating in the chat. So appreciate you guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
So that's a pretty cool story. You know, you mentioned that you kind of locked yourself up for 3 months. No Instagram, just like focused on you, meditating, get closer to God to discover your purpose. As you're trying to formulate all these different ideas, the book, the videos, you got merchandise as well, right? On top of that.
Yes.
So look at that. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about your merchandise, from your hats, shirts. How does it all come together?
Okay, so the merch is really like a byproduct of everything else I want to do. Because first, like I would really rather people to read the book than buy the merch. But I know that people want the merch because they want to wear something, especially like a lot of females. So now what I'm starting to do is I'm gonna where every item that I sell, I put a book in there too, so people can read the book. But the merch is I want people to wear what they feel. Like I got live your vision. A lot of people want to feel like that. They want to live their vision. So I put like powerful sayings on shirts to make people feel like powerful. And it's like you feel like something when you wear it. Like I don't do it for fashion. It's definitely not for fashion. They're all like powerful messages. Like what's your purpose? Live your vision. God made, not self-made. Cross the X out. We God made. Because I feel like we all got that God spirit inside of us, but you know we gotta find it and get it out of us. So that's what I do. I make the merch for like powerful messages. The book ties in because it's a powerful message as well. So, but I know everybody doesn't want to read.
Chaz,
the channel comes in because it's that.
If somebody wants to connect and hit you up for the merch or the book, where can they reach you?
You can get the book and the merch from www.IamChazOrtiz33.com.
One more time, just so they can get it down. We'll actually put the inside of the description. IamChaz33.com. You can get everything that Chaz is referring to. You can get your hands on that book, the merchandise, and all of that. Chaz, you want to get into, you are here because of the channel. You want to get into a little bit about what we can expect to see if we were to click on I Am Chaz Ortiz on YouTube. What will we see going on your channel?
On my channel, you'll get inspiration, you'll get motivation, you'll get spiritual content as well. You'll get stories from my past when I was doing like crackhead things and things like that. I mean, I wasn't a crackhead, but I was doing like fiend moves. I had a lot of fiend moves, like things I shouldn't have been doing. So I do like 3 times, and then I also do a Q&A where I bring other people on so I can also build their platform, and we ask them questions about what's their life purpose, what's their biggest fear, and things like that. So if anybody wants to do one of those with me, reach out to me. We can do a Q&A as well. So that's what my channel is about: becoming a better version of yourself.
So, you know, speaking of motivational speakers, like you're in that arena now. Who do you watch in terms of, and where do you get your motivation from a video perspective? Like, for example, like I watch Les Brown, for example. I get into a little bit of Joel Osteen just for spiritual as well. You know, there's Zig Ziglar. There's some old videotape from him. Tony Robbins, I listen to. You know, who do you listen to?
I like definitely E.T. Eric Thomas.
Eric Thomas, yeah.
Yeah, he get me hyped up. I like E.T. I like Jim Rohn.
The 1%.
I like Jim Rohn.
Jim Rohn's dope.
Yeah. Jim, he powerful speaker. I like Jim. Who else? I like Dan. I like Dan Pena. He's like he's very direct. He's very direct. Stern. I like him too. Those probably my top 3. Oh, I can't forget about Les Brown. I can't do that. Les Brown. I can't do him like that. I love Les Brown. I love Les Brown too.
That boy is something else, man. You gotta be hungry. Yeah, I'm hungry right now. Shoot.
Yeah, I love Les Brown.
That's cool, dude.
You know who else is good? I like Steve Harvey as well. Steve Harvey is real good.
Steve Harvey's good. He's good.
Steve Harvey's best. Steve Harvey got a lot of. He's come a long way from being a king of comedy to being somebody that's so serious and so focused. You know, he's come total 180 with Steve Harvey. Absolutely. My go-to, Reg, you already know my go-to is for inspiration. He doesn't even like inspiration. He says you gotta be driven. That's David Goggins. David Goggins, yeah. David Goggins is just hardcore, man.
Hey, can y'all let me be the first one to ever take a break? I gotta get my charger for my phone died. Let me run to get it real quick. 2 minutes. I'll be right back.
All right, it's okay, man. Don't worry. You got the green screen. Luckily, he's got green screen. So when we really edit this back in, he's just gonna be a still picture of himself, not talking, and
he could look shocked the entire time. He'll be just like this. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, PCX. Do we watch Impact Theory? 1,000%. I love Impact Theory.
Is dope, man.
Tom Bayou, is that how you pronounce his last name?
Yeah.
But yeah, Tom, I watch it, man. He's cool. He's got a lot of cool guests on there. You know, there's a lot of fruitful information, a lot of inspirational people or figures that they have on that show. I love it. One of my favorite guests that were on it was this doctor that talked about being the conscious parent. That was pretty dope because she really told the whole truth about why people even have kids. It was pretty crazy. I feel like a lot of mothers would probably be upset, and she's a female herself, but she really went in on why people actually have kids.
You know what's dope? Powerful. You know what's dope about Impact Theory is that it's very consistent. They have the same setup for every guest. They have the same. Oh, Chaz is back. All right, Chaz, we're not going to keep you too long. We're not going to keep you too long because we know you got the issues with the charger. So we're going to wrap this up. You got a book called The Book That Changed Your Life. Now, each of us, we can let you go further. You can pick when you can go. But we're going to close with a book that changed our lives and how it changed our. First, we'll say what the book is, and then we'll say how this book changed our lives. You want to start or you want to go at the end?
Okay.
You pick, man.
Start with me?
You want to start with you? Would you want to go? Because we'll start with you, man. We'll start with you.
All right. So my book is boom. Think it goes.
Oh, that's the one.
That's a good one.
That's the one.
That's a good one.
Napoleon Hill.
That's the one, man. So, that's the one.
The principles in that book, man. And that I forgot to say that, but after the breakdown, that was one of the big things that got me through that book right there. The principles in that book, man. That's where you find like definite purpose, all that.
Damn it!
I learned a lot from that.
That was my book. That was mine, man.
You better come up with something else then. All right, I'll go second. So you could have some time to think it over now. And now that Chaz took the book, you can't use the same book.
No. He's got to go. He's got to go into it. Like we can talk about.
Oh yeah, Chaz. You got to talk about the book. You can't just say that's my book. You got to say how this changed your life, man. It's called The Book That Changed Your Life. Let's. What passages or what resonated the most with you about this book, Chaz?
What resonated most with me with that book would definitely be like the affirmations in it, the things that you have to say to yourself every day. Like I ain't know nothing about that, like especially in the morning, at night, putting those things into your life. That was a big difference with that book.
Yeah, they talked about the principle of autosuggestion, which kind of talks about the daily affirmations that you got to say in the morning and then at night. But autosuggestion is the concept of constantly telling yourself, I could do this, I could do that, I could be whoever I want to be, and having vision statements. So, for example, I have a vision statement that I read, and it's posted on my wall. So every night before I go to bed, I read that. In the morning, I read that too. But they talk about how to build a mastermind group, which is key essential, right? In order to execute a plan or a vision.
Mastermind group.
Absolutely. And then even the concept
from that book.
Oh, yep, no fap. No
That's
fap,
what I learned
fellas.
that in that book. I said, wow, this is crazy.
No fap.
Yo,
ladies
Chad,
too, no fap.
Oh God, this guy.
Sorry.
Yo, Chaz, you ever read what's the next one? Conversations with the Devil, is it that he has?
Yes, I read that.
Yeah, that one was though too.
Yeah. That book opened my eyes for a lot of things, man. A lot of things. That
like the automated programming that people, man.
Yeah, man. It really puts in perspective like how this world is, and it's like some of these things I never thought about before. It's like, dang, I'm really like that. Like I see myself in a lot of those things. I'm like, oh, I can't be this person. I can't be that person no more. It's crazy. That book right there got to be my top 3. I would say number 2 for me is The Alchemist.
Oh, that was my number 1. That was my number 1. That's what I was going with right now. Can let me speak about it. Let me speak on The Alchemist.
I'm gonna let y'all go.
I gotta speak on The Alchemist. That was my book.
You still on my books. All I got is Papa books left now. I'm sorry. This is all fake. This is a green screen behind me.
Maybe you got some comic books. I don't know. All right, so if Couture Life is still in the building, he could tell. Like I've been talking about The Alchemist for a long, long time. Alchemist to me, the best books are the books that speak to you at a particular time in your life that you might be going through something that you can kind of make connections with, or you might a particular character might resonate with you because it reflects a certain period in your life where it might help you make a decision. It's often said that the best books aren't the books that you find, they're the books that find you, right? And so with The Alchemist, I was in my early 20s, and The Alchemist is like a journey story. So it's a guy that's just like, he's going off on his dream and he's catching some L's, and then he catches some W's. But it's just basically about, do you keep going when you catch an L, or if you catch a minor W, do you keep going? And so I was catching these minor W's, and I still had dreams. I still had things that I wanted to do with myself that I would have to go in fearlessly in order to do so. I'd have to drop things. So basically, like, I'm not even going to be metaphorical about it. I had a job that was really good for my age. I was getting paid very well for my age. But in order for me to get where I wanted to go, I had to go back to school. And so I would have to quit the job that was paying me so much more than my peers and go back to school and have nothing, just because that's what I would have to do in order to make it past that point in my life. And so reading that book at that time motivated me to do that. And so I've bought The Alchemist around 5 or 6 times. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because that copy that the Reggolution has is a copy that I gave him. Right.
Well, this one right here.
Yeah, that's a copy
that you ain't getting back.
No. I don't even ask for them back. I bought them 6 times. No. So basically, what happens is if I see somebody that needs the information in the book at the time, like Couture Life, if he's still in the comments, he's somebody that
he's there.
I gave him the book too. I gave Reg the book. So I gave a kid the book before. Whoever I've met that is in need of that book at that time, I just say, yo, hold that. I don't even need it back. Just read what's in it because it's in it for you at this point in time. This book is a book that you're supposed to read right now because this book is going to help you with that transition or with whatever you need, whatever decision that you need to make at this point.
Absolutely. Yo, I read that book in Florida just now, like when I was on vacation. Well, it ended up turning into a vacation. But I read that book sitting every morning. I would go sit by the beach and read that. That book is, I didn't expect that in that book. It was weird how they put that story together, like finding your purpose and like going for it, just really living that every day. It's like leaving everything behind and just going for it. It was really like, that's how I want my books to hit, in a story mode though, in the way he put that story together.
Yeah, so Nick Flair gave that book to me when I was kind of pretty much on my face. Like last year was like the first time ever in life that I was unemployed, and Nick Flair said, "Hey man, you got to read this book. Like this is you, man. Like you're Santiago." I'm like, who's Santiago, man? Like is that Carlos Santano's like cousin? That's what I was thinking. Like, who's that? Who's this person? But man, when I read it and I took in the concepts, you know what I mean, like about following the omens. And omens at the end of the day could be in the form of just energy. It could be spiritual guides that, you know, come in and out of your lives for very specific purposes and reasons. And they just guide you to where your final destination is going to be. And on top of that, the distractions that come into your life too.
Oh, yeah.
And those distractions are a way to kind of divert you away from your purpose too. So you got to be able to kind of see through that as well. But it's just amazing how everything kind of comes together at the end. And obviously I don't want to spoil it for people that haven't read it, but I think we obviously all three of us collectively would, you know, recommend everybody that hasn't read it actually go out and get it. It's amazing. But yeah, good choices, man. Good choices.
Definitely. Yeah. That's life lessons in that book right there. Dang, I almost forgot about the omens. I feel like I see that every day now. I look for the signs. I'm like,
what?
Yo, the omens be popping up. The omens be popping up.
Oh, they do.
The omens are there. You know what like what Reg was saying is the realest, man, because when you're on a path or when you are dedicating yourself to your dream, probably the biggest obstacle in your way is not even the hardships. The hardships actually help you. It's when you get a little win, you get a little mediocrity. When you go, okay, I got this now. This is nice. I might want to stay here. This is nice. Why would I give this up? Because that wasn't your dream. You know what I'm saying? When you get a little something, that's when people stop, because it's just like, I don't want to lose this little something. This little something's pretty dope. I don't want to lose it.
Right.
I want to keep on to this. And so people stop going when they get to a certain point because they become afraid of losing. You're never afraid of losing when you got nothing.
Nothing.
Right. Absolutely.
Keep going. You keep going. And that's why when you hit rock bottom, man, there's only one way to go up, right? So you got to keep on striving. And obviously that's what you do. That's pretty much how you portray your messages, or that's the message that you deliver to your audience, which is amazing. But man, Alchemist, man, we can talk for hours about that. Huh?
We're going to get Paulo Coelho on the show as soon as he returns our DM. He's a little background.
I think he did, but it's like in Portuguese or something. I don't know.
All right, Reg, enough stalling, Reggolution, man. Enough stalling, bro. Enough stalling. I know your tactics. You're like, oh my God, I got to come up with a book.
Well, he took two of my books. I had The Alchemist right here. Think and Grow Rich was another one of mine. I gave to my sister because I'm like, yo, I need to pass this on. So now I gotta find a new book.
You had like 10 minutes.
Hold on. I'm gonna try. Okay. All right.
Books up there.
I got some good books. I've only read like one, I think. I don't know. I'm just joking. I got some good books. Okay, this one was a pretty good one. This is called, for anyone that can see that, The Happiness of Pursuit. Not the pursuit of happiness, but the happiness of pursuit. And this book in particular talked about a wide variety of different journeys. So everybody at the end of the day is on a different path, a different journey. We all have different purposes. So this one in particular talked about, there was the one journey about one guy that just stopped talking. He's like, I'm just gonna remain silent. And they talked about why did you decide to do this? It's because I just wanted to just be in tune with myself. And he just would stop talking for years. He's just like kind of turned into like a monk, if that. Another journey was, this one guy said, I'm not going to use my car anymore. I'm just gonna walk everywhere. And again, these are all, putting people on the path of self-discovery. Another journey is people that there's another person traveled to across the world with her family, right? Every person on the face of this earth, and Steve Harvey always said it best, we all have our own unique gifts. You know, everyone has their own unique fingerprint. There's a reason for that, because we all have our own gifts, our own talents. And this book in particular was amazing to me, and it was very symbolic, because at the time that I was reading it, it actually kind of started this podcast in a way. I remember reading this at lunch one day, and a coworker of mine said, "Hey, what book are you reading?" And I said, The Happiness of Pursuit. He goes, "Why are you reading that book?" And I'm like, "It's because I needed something to do." And he goes, "You got to stop reading other people's books, and people need to read your story. That's what they need to do."
That sounds like the Alchemist right there, man. That sounds like the king that comes up to Santiago.
I was like, my story. People need to read my story. And then he segued into, "Hey, like, have you ever thought about doing a podcast?" And this guy barely knows me. So when you talk about the omens, that was one of the spiritual guides that, you know, that kind of helped us take action towards putting this podcast together. Nick Flair and I have talked about doing podcasts for a while now, but we just never taken any action. It wasn't until I started reading this book, reading Alchemist, paying attention to the omens, that this all came to fruition. So this is the symbol behind this.
It's a solid 3 right there, man. It was a solid 3, man.
I gotta check that book out.
All right, man. Looks about we're getting around that time. We're gonna wrap this up. Let's just once again shout out Chaz Ortiz for being on the show today. Chaz, one more time for the people out there, how can they get in touch with you?
Thanks for having me. You can get in touch with me on Instagram at I am Chaz Ortiz. Also on YouTube, I am Chaz Ortiz. My website still www.iamchazortiz33.com. Check out the book that changed your life on Amazon.com, or you can get it from my website. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Follow me, subscribe to my channel. Thanks for having me. Pot about nothing.
Chaz has always wanted to say that.
He's trying to do the catchphrase, man. Don't do that. He's trying to steal the catchphrase.
But you know what? Like, I want to say this because because all three of us were joking about this before, like, we went live. But you know, I had to comment on Chaz's green screen in the background, and usually you find Chaz in his car. In his car, he'd be doing his interviews in his car.
Not lately. Okay? Not lately though.
Now, after editing and some CGI, we might see Chaz in a private jet. So don't be surprised if you see this guy in a private jet in this interview. So just letting y'all know.
Yep.
We lost him. The feds just got Chaz. Get him out.
Oh no, the PJ, did it go down? Check the black box. Check the black box. Is he okay?
Oh man, that was the end of Chaz. There he's back. He's back on the jet.
Right. Woo.
Back. All right, here we go.
Was that turbulence, Chaz?
It's turbulence.
Okay. But shout out to everybody that joined us in the live stream today. Shout out to everybody that is either YouTuber or not YouTuber. Hope you guys made some positive connections. Hope you guys can even connect with Chaz when all of this is over as well. We are a part about nothing.
Be a part of something. Thank you all for participating. Subscribe to this channel, like it, and again, it's a new initiative, YouTube Unite. So we want all of you to we want all of us to start a community together. Okay, let's continue the conversation offline, and hopefully we connect and put each other on each other's platforms. Thank you.
Just come off the platform. It says we're still live.